Good morning. Welcome to this morning's Wuxing Long Pai Qigong, Tai Chi, and Baguazhang class. My name is Jeff Cote, and I am the Occidental Taoist. As you can see, it's pretty overcast here. I hope there's enough light that you can see me well. It's a cool autumn day. It's kind of beautiful, but cool and a little damp. If it starts raining, I'm going to have to end up ending it quickly so that my gear doesn't get soaked. So if that happens, I apologize now. But it looks like it probably will not. Looks like it'll probably hold off and maybe even clear up. So I had some technical difficulties last week with the internet. We were losing internet over and over again. When it rains heavily here, that tends to happen. And that happened early in the week, and then there was just issues getting a good solid signal. So my apologies for not having anything up last week on these live stream classes. And, I continue to struggle with that in this area. We're a small town, very rural. We don't have any other options. We literally have Comcast, and that's it. That's the only option for internet service provider in the area. So there's sort of a monopoly, and we call and complain. Nothing ever changes. They do bare minimum to just keep it functioning out here, and they never upgrade. So I will do my best to keep us connected as often and as much as possible. Meanwhile, I'm hoping to find an office somewhere where during the winter I'll be able to film, and I'll be able to have a better signal, perhaps. Maybe not in Townsend. All right. So looks like I got a message. I'm wondering if it's one of you. I don't know. All right. Well, I missed it, whatever it was, and I don't know how to pull it up. So, all right. Anyways, I hope you guys continue to join me. I will continue with the same schedule for now. So we'll start off feet roughly shoulder width and parallel. Nice and relaxed. Relax the center line. Relax the low back. Find that bowl of the pelvis. Kind of feel the shape of it. And get it directly below the middle dantian. Stack the upper dantian on top. So you get a nice straight center line that drops right to the pelvic floor. You relax through the hips and open. You can allow yourself to go up and down vertically where your center line stays on a central axis. Nice up and straight. Not nice up and straight. So not this. All doing that. Nice. Upright center line. Just go straight up and down. And it's valuable and worth getting a full-length mirror or standing in front of a full-length mirror to the side like that. Get that posture as you think is right. Try to look with your head. Notice the plumb line. If you can't picture it, if you have a hard time visualizing a plumb line, take a piece of string with a slight weight, maybe a washer or something, to the top of the mirror, and it gives you a nice straight plumb line. Then line yourself up on it. Get yourself what you think of as straight. Notice what it feels like. Notice where you're fighting the process, and then drop it. Drop the fighting. Check a nice straight line. Do the same to the front. That can be valuable too. So once you have a nice, good center line, you can feel a nice fluid and relaxed qua here. You can open and close readily and freely. Begin to notice the triangles of the feet and where your weight is. Move forward, move back, outside, inside. Equalize. Equalize the power around the hips and through the legs to interact with the ground. Then from the way in, that point at the pelvic floor, I want you to gently draw up as though you're just lightly sipping through a straw. You don't know what's going to taste like, so you're just taking a tiny little sip with that perineum. Just drawing it right up to the lower dantian. Meanwhile, the urethral and rectal muscles gather gently, so the whole dantian begins to gather and condense. Tongue lightly touches the roof of the mouth. I'm going to start with just deep breathing in here. Place your hands over your lower dantian And as you inhale, condense. As you exhale, release slightly, but not completely. Don't drop that pelvic floor. Once you have a really good sense of your center line from that process, you'll feel the dantian more strongly, the central chi more strongly, and your sense of physical self more complete. Begin with our bouncing expansion. So from the center, we inhale, we outreach. One of the things that as you do this now, I want you to start working on this idea, not just of expansion, but this expansion is an outreach to receive. So your whole body is breathing inward. You're expanding out, but that expanding out is receptive, allowing the chi to flow through you. And then we're going to do the reverse. As we inhale, we're going to condense and gather. Exhale and release. and bounce. And counters. Column swing. And counter columns. relax. Do some circling palms. So turn your feet slightly outward. Good central equilibrium. Find the triangles of the feet. Open up the hips. Drop the tailbone. Open the sacrum. Get a sense of the right and left channels, both kind of evenly rolling in and down to create your structure. Feel that on either side of the torso, either side of the center line, these right and left channels coming from the hips particularly, but all the way from the ground, forming two columns right up to the shoulders. From there, we're going to receive into one leg, open up the other, paying attention to how these two columns change. As this one rotates open, this one rotates closed. Sit into the stance, get the geometry right. You know what I mean? Get the bowl of the pelvis underneath the sphere of the middle dantian and upper dantian stacked. Feel the geometry of the legs, get the rotation, relax, let your body relax into it. Feel the natural twists that are there, build on those. Always use what is as the basis for how you work. Relax the arm, bring it in front of the chest, palm down and slightly out. Notice I've got a nice relaxed space under here. I'm not jamming myself up. I'm relaxing the shoulder out and down. I'm receptive on my right leg here. That's this side for me. And expansive. I'm extending and expansive through that left. Place this hand here so I can remember to keep the action coming from here as I expand out through this leg and become receptive through this one. Expand through the right arm. Feeling that expansion and return. Paying attention to how that whole side interacts with that left leg and the left side. Even though the upper body is not really changing much, quality of each channel and each side changes in its nature. Pay attention to that. And we come to the other side. Just getting warmed up on each side, paying attention to each one. Let's just let it shut down. There we go. Sorry, I was going to reverse too soon. Pay particular attention to the changes in the yin channels and their relationship to the yang as you change yin and yang in the legs. We want to learn to pay attention to all these layers at the same time. So sometimes for a little while, we'll practice paying attention to the yang aspects, which is very easy because they're the ones that tend to do the most work here. Right? but we want to try to relax them, let the in channels do more for stability. So receptive. And we can do both. So one of the keys of one of the things we're looking for here is as I'm shifting and turning this way, this spiral outward. Finn, come here. Hey, come on. That's enough. Go. Come on. Yep. Sit. That's enough. My apologies for that. Getting a delivery, and he's apparently barking at the delivery person, which he does. Good dog. He's a good boy because he, lets us know when people come around. Good boy. All right. So as I'm here, I've got this spiral that carries. Hey, that's enough. Down. Down. Finn. Down. Come on. Come on. Pardon me. Hey. My apologies for that. But he's going to continue to get more and more disruptive. So, got a good central equilibrium as you shift and turn on further out than it was before, which is okay, but I don't want you to feel like you have to be there. We want to get that shift and turn. Just get the posture. Feel here. Feel this rotation out. Work with that. Get that sense of extension. Let gravity come down, join with it, let your force and energy join with it. So that's part of that extension and rotation. And the receptivity here for that resultant force of gravity. The flow back up. So relax into this side. It helps to create the upright structure. You want to feel that twist. Same thing here. I want to feel this twist on this whole right side. may need to make adjustments. Like I can't go quite that far over because this hip has some tension in it that I'm still correcting. And I transition. Then at the same time now once I get to establish that sense of the spiral, when I reach out, I want that spiral to reach out. I want it to extend and become elastic. So it's like this whole side is extending. Meanwhile, this side is working with its natural elasticity to compress and come back. Now, this side here is going to become elastic, while this one restores its release. Then you can turn the palms in. All of this is a dragon coiling practice. I practice reaching out and having extension at all levels, the lower dantian, middle dantian, upper dantian. And everything in between. And close. Relax, shake your legs out. That's a lot of work if you stay at it. Till your legs open up. And even once they open up, you'll be able to do it for long periods of time, but you can feel it too. You can feel it working always, which is good. That's where you want to be. You You'll always be working those legs. Chi flow and the strength and energy, Jin power that will flow through these lower channels. Very important. All the yin channels of the legs, yang channels of the legs, very important for health. Shake them out to shake out any stagnation. Coming from the center, just extending, expanding out. First through the heel and the triangle of the foot, almost as if I were doing this with my palm, but then like I'm trying to release through the toes. Two, through the whole foot. Hands, wrists, and fingers. The other way. Elbows. Other one. And then the shoulder. Keep the shoulders down. This time turn out. Back of the hands. And reverse. Palms out. Back of the hands together. Rotate around. Fingertips. Palms facing each other. Out. Back of the hands. Palms towards each other, fingertips. And then open and close the chest and upper back. Front twists from the center. Routing the daimai. And the hips. Down the outside on the gallbladder channels, the outside of the legs. The center of the inside on the liver channel. Down the front outside for the stomach channel. Front inside for the spleen. back of the legs for the bladder channel. Inside, back of the legs for the kidney channel. Check it out. Waist rotations. Circling the daimai. Other way. Bring your awareness down to the ball and socket joints of the hips. Riding the feet a little bit. Start with pulling that ball and socket joint open, almost like you're drawing a bow. You're going to press the foot slightly down, pull the hip open like you're pulling that ball and socket joint open. Then we want to rotate. If the femur comes up, kind of makes an angle, and then there's the ball part of the bone that sits into the joint, the ball and socket joint. We want to pull that open. So we press down, pull open, and then along that axis of the center of that bone, as it comes into the hip, which is not straight in, not straight up, it's sort of at an angle here. We want to circulate around that. So I go down, forward, and in and down, backwards, up and out, and around. As I pull that open, just trying to open up that joint along that axis. Going one way, and then the other. And we go to the other side. Pull this one open. And we do the same thing. We go one way. And the other. And I'm going to work them together this way, just feeling them react to each other across the pelvic floor, right? As well as inside, how the two ball and socket joints are working together. There's tissue that interconnect in there, even if it's just fascially. And the other way. And alternating. So they go back and forth. You know, this one's rolling this way. This one's rolling back here. And rolling in this way. And then the other way. And shake it up. Patting the legs. And friction rubbing the knee. And the other side. And friction rubbing the knee. Feet together, small circles. The other way. And deep bends. Shift line in. Shift into one leg. Ankle and hip. Other way. Foot and ankle. Other way. Brushing the grass. Other way. Behind, keep the heel down. And the other way. Other side. Ankle and hip. Other way. Foot and ankle. Other way. Brushing the grass. Other way. Behind. And the other way. Shake it in. There we go. Down. Knee down. Heel back. Point the knee back. Down and around. And rolling the hip open. Other side. Yep. Back. Back and around. Open the hip. Shifting out your legs. Elongate the spine, lift the sacrum, fold at the waist. Flatten the back. Really take your time, exploring where you're holding, moving down after you let go, not trying to force through your tension, but learning how to let go as you move down. Turn towards one side. And then to the other side. The dragon, circle the palm. Going for that elastic outreach and letting all the tissue stretch a little bit. Drop your weight down in between. Center line upright. Hands on the inside, legs ever so gently squeezing the elbows to open the hips. And hands down. Bring your body weight into your legs just a little bit, opening up those hips. A little stretch, frog-like stretch. Dig in a little bit. And if you feel so inclined, you can let your weight completely rest on your legs, opening up the hips a little bit more, pointing the toes out, soles of the feet towards each other, and really rotating those hips open. Learn to create stability with your hands and your shoulders. Relax, align. And back. Down. Press up with the legs in the lower back, roll the spine up from bottom to top. One vertebrae at a time, like you're stacking them. And dragon spine. We're working with this rotational power of the right and left channel. So as if you were kind of digging your feet in and twisting out, you can feel even just the slightest amount, you'll feel that power come right up the back of the sacrum, through the glutes. We're going to let that go right up the spine, letting the spine become like a serpentine wave. And we get up, we're going to start down here and reverse that, pulling the abdomen up and in, and rolling those muscles up. We coordinate the legs rotating in with that. So the legs rotate in, the abdomen pulls up, come up. Then it rotates out, up the back, front, back, front, back. The other. So I'm rotating down and in, and then twisting up and out, and close. So that was kind of a long look at the sequence. And my apologies again for having to take that little break in the middle. Thank you for your understanding. You know, he's a dog. He's going to do what dogs do. You know, we live on a dead end dirt road with dozens of, tens, maybe 100 acres of fields and woodlands behind us. I'm not even sure how many tens, maybe 70, 80, could be upwards of 100. Anyway, so because of that, he doesn't get a lot of interaction with cars and stuff. So when one comes up, he's got to let us know. So thank you for your forbearance with that. When I get it posted up, it'll get posted up right away, but I'll come back and edit it. I've got to get to another class, but I'll edit this down and then put it back up afterwards too. All right. So thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to help me continue to do my work, you can go to my coffee page. That's ko-fi.com/Occidental Taoist. You can also join me on my Patreon page, where I have a whole bunch of videos that are exclusive content only for Patreon members. And that's patreon.com/Occidental Taoist. And then you can also find me on Facebook. I've got a bunch of Facebook Lives that I've done. I've got a piece of software and a tool that I'm supposed to be able to use to live stream to both at the same time. Haven't quite figured out how to make that happen yet, but I'll get there. There's a whole technical aspect of this stuff that's just not my strong suit, and it's a slow learning curve. So bear with me. I'll get even more functional as we go along, especially if I can find a nice young college intern who would like to help me do this and learn a lot of Qigong and Tai Chi. So if you know anybody, send them my way. Again, thank you very much. And may you have many blessings of radiant health and peaceful, happy heart. Thank you.